All right, guys, welcome back once again to this YouTube channel. Let's talk about how Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the so-called president of this particular country, listened to what P2B said and actually did what P2B said according to the way P2B said it. I've often said it that without P2B in this country, that would the regime of this Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be like the regime of Muhammad Buhari, whereby nobody checkmates and nobody checks their SSs and all that they do in this country. I can boldly tell you this for free, but P2B has stood out as the only opposition we have in this country. Atiku Abubakar no longer talk about anything that is actually happening in this country. Other PDP politicians who is supposed to be in a strong opposition to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government have equally joined Tinubu because of hunger and because of their stomach. Because, like I've said, these are politicians that are more interested about their stomach and their well-being and their selfish interests more than the interests of Nigerians. But it is only P2B that have stood out and kept on, checkmating and holding the government accountable, even though that is why the APC government is trying to put down P2B and obedience. I will tell you what Tinubu did because, whenever you see P2B talk about things happening in this country, a lot of people say he's a bitter person, but people don't know that this particular man is actually doing these things for the well-being of the common man. P2B is a billionaire. In his third generations to come will not even be poor. It's not like he is poor or probably is looking for money. No, rather he's actually fighting for the well-being of the poor masses that we have in this country. Well, without wasting time, let me go straight to what P2B did so that you understand why Tinubu had to listen to what P2B said and swiftly went into action to do what P2B actually said online. Now, if you all remember a few days ago, P2B made a tweet about what he saw at the international airport in Abuja, Nnamdi Azikiwe airport, and we have in Abuja. He made a tweet, and even a lot of people started calling him names, and he's a bitter person, this and that. He said something that just yesterday, I saw a heart-wrenching sight of a physically challenged traveler in a wheelchair being carried up the stairs by four men at the Nnamdi Azikiwe airport, Abuja, because neither the elevator nor the escalator had been functional for the past 3 months. That the elevator in a whole international airport in Abuja has not been functional for the past 3 months. Now, he went for that to say something that the situation becomes more disturbing when you imagine that such is happening in our nation's capital, where our dignitaries and foreign investors travel through constantly. This was the same airport and the same day that our dear president flew out on the private visit. P2B is a very sensible and a very sensitive human being. He saw this at the international airport. Meanwhile, Tinubu and his entourage and his cohorts, use the same airports to travel out of the country. And meanwhile, they did not notice that that particular elevator is not working. And a physically challenged person had to be carried up. You could imagine the stress, and you could imagine what foreign investors and other developed countries are going to say when they come into Nigeria. They will not come again because of what such poor facility that is in the number one airport we have in the country, being the international airport, Nnamdi Azikiwe airport in the federal capital territory of the nation. When he said it, a lot of people started criticizing him. But at the end of the day, now recently, the airport and the escalator has been fixed. As you can see on the video, you can see the video of people testifying and giving thanks to P2B for criticizing Bola Ahmed Tinubu and for calling the attention of the government to this. He said, look at the post this particular person made, because this person made use of that airport and that elevator recently, and it is now working well. You see caution work in progress. You can see that they are now working on the elevator. This has spoiled for the past 3 months, and nobody said anything about it until P2B raised his voice against the poor facilities, and that is when the government started using it. That is when the government started fixing it. Meanwhile, the government have been using this airport. Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been flying out and inside the country through this particular airport, and he did not observe that the elevator has spoiled for the past 3 months. This person said that the airport escalator and escalator stairs were repaired after P2B tweeted about it. If that's what it takes to improve Nigeria, then let's continue tweeting. Like I've said, that obedience are the opposition we have in this country, and they've continued to hold this Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government accountable. That is why Tinubu's government, they don't have any breathing space to loot or commit all sorts of crimes and abominations, and that is why they want to dismantle the obedient movement and P2B so that they can have easy access to loot money like what we saw in the government of President Muhammad Buhari. And it is quite sad and it is quite pathetic. They want this particular nation to continue being in chaos and in an undeveloped state, in a chaotic state whereby nothing works. That is why they are fighting the obedient. Today, they will bring one allegations against P2B because they want to shut him up so that they can continue and have easy access to loot money and nobody will complain. But thank God for the obedient movement. I've said it that if not for the obedient movement, that the Tinubu government will continue looting money where Buhari stopped. You could see what Adira Sirika, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs under Buhari looted. You could see what Better Edu, if not for the obedience and the way they circulated the information, Better Edu could have actually looted more. But because the obedience have been checkmating the government, and she decided to transfer 500 million naira to a private account, and she was called to order and called out by the obedience, and she was criticized. And this is what the obedience and P2B are doing, ensuring that the government is accountable and telling the Nigerians the truth. So you could see that the elevator is working now, and Nigerians are enjoying it. And this is the courtesy of what P2B tweeted online. Immediately he tweeted this, the airport authorities in Abuja started working and fixing that. If not for him, nothing will work. And imagine the kind of president P2B would be. Imagine how functional this nation would be. Imagine how functional this nation would be. If P2B could be sensitive to notice little issues like this, imagine him being the president of this particular country. Of course, he will leave no stone unturned. I can boldly tell you this for free. He will leave no stone unturned. He will ensure that everything is being fixed. He will ensure that nothing is being ignored or nothing is being abandoned, because he's a man that believes in accountability. Just like what Alex Oti is doing in Abia State today, that Abians, that being the Abia State indigenous citizens, are happy because they are holding him accountable. He is not answerable to anybody apart from the indigenous, and that is why he is, showcasing and exhibiting the dividends of democracy, and the people are seeing, and the people are happy, and the people are rejoicing. This is what P2B could have actually done if not for the rascal INEC body and the INEC chairman who rigged the election and shut down the INEC portal and the IRF portal, so that they will have their ways and means to loot to rig the election. So honestly, we must really thank Mr. P2B. You could see what some obedience said in the post. Some of them said, we are not the opposition. You don't see him. Now, people are happy that P2B is tweeting all this and that, because without his voice, I can boldly tell you that he has the loudest and the highest voice, not just in Nigeria, in Africa. Whatever he says, politicians will keep, any moment he tweets, politicians across the country, both in the opposition and both in the ruling party, being APC, will quickly go and look at what he tweeted, because they know that this is a man whose voice is being heard not just in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the world at large. So his voice and his statement, matters a lot. That is why the government is always listening to him. Well, I believe 2027 is not too far, because we are going to let P2B again. This time around, we are not going to agree for INEC chairman and its cohort to manipulate the election results again. Well, I'd like guys to drop your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think about this particular thing that P2B did that Bola Tinubu listened to immediately.